Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is William Jackson with Ndejje Moses here, and we are very appreciative of the opportunity to speak at WordCamp Jinja 2025. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are honored to be here working together, and we are exceptionally happy because another year where we can share our knowledge and we can share our experiences together, working together as a team with WordPress and WordCamps. We would like to welcome all the new people that this is their first WordCamp to celebrate the experience and enjoy the experience. I, William Jackson, have been involved with the WordCamp community since 2010. So this is 15 years for me. And if I'm not mistaken, this is Moses' second year, I believe, being a part of the community. And he has already grown to being a business owner, to being a blogger, to being a podcaster, to working within my company as a team member in Metaverse WP and My Quest to Teach. So we welcome him. Not only welcome him, but we also welcome Tasha, who is also a member. And future members are Freddie, Mary, and others as well. I try not to forget anybody's name, but if I left anybody's name out, please forgive me. But my team is very talented, very critical in what they're doing and creating and what they believe is wonderful products, whether it's web development or whether it's teaching about WordPress or the metaverse or artificial intelligence. And I'd just like to say thank you to them for their knowledge and their skills and abilities that we teach each other. And together, through our strength together, we are stronger. So we are going to get started. So our plan is that I am going to present using AI to magnify the creativity of African girls and boys for future careers. And after my presentation, Moses is going to take over. Ndejje, he is going to speak about his experiences and share some examples with you and some other things that he has in mind. But I wanted to emphasize that using AI to magnify the creativity of those that are gathered here is a wonderful tool to use. Not only does it enhance your literacy skills, but it enhances your comprehension, it enhances your creativity, and enhances the ability to communicate. So, as we know, Africa is the second largest continent in the world, behind Eurasia. And Africa stands at the threshold of a technological renaissance powered by you, its youth, teens, and young adults. With over 60% of the population in Africa on the continent under 25, and a rapidly growing workforce in technological areas, Africa's young people, boys and girls, are uniquely positioned to become the digital innovators and creative leaders of tomorrow. So just think about it, young people. You are your nation and continent's future. Without you, there is no future because you are the digital natives, you are the creatives, you are the innovators, and you use your imagination in so many wonderful ways. Applying AI, artificial intelligence, to harness AI is the key to magnifying your creativity, unlocking your innovation, and propelling Africa towards superpower status. Now, the irony is that Africa started, in reality, the technological journey with Africans as astronomers and as sea merchants navigating the seas decades and centuries earlier, using mathematics before Europeans were able to tie their shoes. And I always talk about this in the classes that I teach that um, Africa is, or is and has been more advanced than many European countries, but because of colonization and slavery, it has held Africa back from its potential to be a superpower. In many ways, it is, but there are years ago, and with the help of you, the youth, teens, and young adults that are there, it can embrace its superpower status. So I also want to share that the historical applications of the Egyptians to the Moors, to the creativity of the Kenyans, and the innovation of those in Morocco and South Sudan and other areas. Um, a lot of people may not know about, but historically they have contributed to the benefits that we have today, even in technology. And I encourage all of you to learn more about your history of your continent, of your culture, of your nations where you are. Because in order to know where you're going, you have to know where you came from. So I'm going to say that again. In order to know where you're going, you have to know where you came from and the greatness that is within you. So before AI, there was writing, there was complex math and artistic creativity that even would have wowed or stymied Michelangelo, Rembrandt, and other European artists. Creativity, innovation, imagination, collaboration, and cooperation arguably started on the continent of Africa. Africa is not a country. And during my instruction as a professor, I make sure all my students know that Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent of cultural and environmental diversity and beauty. The beauty so abundant that unfortunately Europeans and Asians alike, in some cases, are jealous of Africa because of all the rich natural resources that are available there in Africa on the continent that are not available in Asia or in Europe. And still, people are fearful of the great potential that Africa has and the great influence that Africa has in the world. So I encourage the young people there, hey, blossom, grow, learn as much as you can. So moving on, the technological growth started across the continent. So the evolution in some ways with AI kind of surprisingly is not recognized as starting in the content, but the mindset and the creativity. The intellectual abilities of Africans should not be outshined. The world should understand the unique challenges of the empires that dwarfed Europe and Asia and the empires that were in Africa. Why is that important? Because the empires promoted education, they promoted learning, they promoted science, they promoted mathematics, they promoted so many elements that are influencing the world today. AI is a natural progression that is already bridging gaps that once limited access to quality education and opportunities, especially in marginalized communities or communities that are not as well advanced across Africa. In Kenya, for example, AI powered tools are enabling youth to acquire new digital skills, explore novel career awarenesses, and even break cycles of poverty. Initiatives like those created by a gentleman, his name is Alexander Emmanuel. He is alive. He's a young man of African heritage. And he had a quote that stated, Africa's future hinges on mastering AI, mastering it and understanding it, so that way it can empower Africans, not just to keep pace with the world, but to overcome systematic challenges, empowering its youth and shaping the solutions uniquely tailored to the needs of Africans. So without AI literacy, the continent risks being a consumer of technology or consumer and not that of a creator of digital ecosystems. That will unfortunately create missing opportunities to transform agriculture, to transform healthcare, to transform governance through homegrown innovation. So it's important that we understand what Emmanuel is talking about in the relationship, how important and vital AI is across the continent. So the works of myself building the first metaverse ecosystem that includes all of Africa in an immense and interactive way, Africa WP metaverse will contain all the countries of Africa, their flags, and each flag is a representation of progress and advancement. So those aspects using AI, using VR for those interactions and engagements are important and key. Empowering and inspiring young Africans to become creators, not just consumers of technology. Programs foster a culture of exploration, problem solving, and digital entrepreneurship that is needed to help move Africa into its rightful place as a digital superpower. I always believe in my heart that Africa has the ability to be a superpower, to make systemic changes across the continent that influences the world. Africa's influence of AI, the impact goes beyond just individual empowerment across the continent. The youth, the teens, the young adults can use AI to solve local challenges in reading, challenges across the continent as young innovators such as yourself adapt to learning apps, revolutionizing data management, expanding financial access for the underserved communities that are across Africa that need that funding, and also driving sustainable agriculture and manufacturing. Those are key important areas because they influence many careers and millions of lives. These continental solutions are tailored to Africa's unique context, ensuring relevance and scalability. AI can allow those millions of Africans or even billions that are disabled, handicapped, and challenged with even mental challenges that stymie or slow down their creativity, but can enhance creativity, enhance innovation, and allow for their imagination to be purposeful and powerful. So I was a student of, not a physical student, but I studied the writings of Chinua Achebe, Wale Shalinka, and Noguchi. And I was always overjoyed and happy how their writings empowered the people and inspired the people and encouraged intellectualism and reading. So from Chinua Achebe, he has stated, until the lions have their own historians, the history of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. AI can magnify the lion, which is you, and your family to be creators, developers, and achievers, which is vitally important for your community. So, as a teacher of 33 years, it is important, and I always teach my students that they are always creative, they are always innovative, they are always exploring and learning because that's what keeps the mind young and the body young, and to learn and apply not just technology, but importantly, the arts. For African boys and girls, AI is an imagination creative multiplier. It enables you to turn ideas and imagination into reality, collaborate across borders, and compete globally. By integrating AI, artificial intelligence, into education, agriculture, manufacturing, e commerce, healthcare, and finance, you, African youth, teens, and young adults, can address the pressing or the challenges within your communities. It can drive economic growth. It can inspire educational attainment once applied correctly. The term digital natives, you are already shaping the continent's AI future and VR future in setting standards, policies, procedures, and redefining what's possible with strategic investment in your digital skills. The infrastructure that is available there in your communities needs to be robust to support high speed data access and also to include the innovation of different types of technologies to help communities grow. Africa's young population can harness AI to transform the continent into a global superpower and a powerhouse, one where creativity and technology fuel sustainability and prosperity for generations to come. There is no better feeling than knowing that you have the capability to influence your future, to navigate your future, and to figure out critical things that are going on and to solve challenges. There are challenges all over the world, and I want um, you African youth and teens and young adults there to know there are challenges here in the United States. There are challenges in other countries. They may be different than the challenges we have here in the States and the challenges that you have in your communities, in your neighborhoods. But using technology and working together as teams, you can definitely overcome them. Another writer that I love to study is Wale Soyinka, a Nobel laureate. He views technology with a perspective of evaluation, acknowledging its potential for both progress and minuses. So, where you have a good part of technology, you also have a challenging part of technology. And so, Yinka emphasizes the importance of using technology to enhance good governance, promote development, and combat corruption. He cautions using blindly adopting all types of technology without considering its impact on African values, African languages, cultural and national and continental independence. Because there are some challenging and some risk taking challenges with using technology across the spectrum of Africa. So there must be leaders like Moses, like Tasha Banks, like Freddie, like Mary, and the others that are there with the leaders that you have that are the organizers to manage and use technology in a way that's beneficial to African youth, teens, and young adults. Not all technology is good for you, but you must understand and have that discernment in your heart and in your mind which technologies that you can use and which technologies that you shouldn't use. So Yinka has stated, sometimes I think the inventor of the internet should be decorated, given the key to cities and put on a white horse. But then he also reflects that that person should also be handled in such a way that the use of the internet is a challenge because of the good and the bad that it creates. So, technology for Africans should set a vision or visions that may inspire current and future African leaders that are you and to allow them to empower youth, teens, and young adults that are you to be intellectual leaders and creatives and imaginatives and innovation and using the arts to build the future of Africa, African nation. It is this blessing to the potential to be a superpower that no one should be forgotten and no one should be left behind in the growth of Africa and its powerhouse ability and superpower status. So thank you for this opportunity. Blessings to everyone. And I will leave it to Ndejje Moses to go ahead and continue and finish us out. Thank you. God bless.